do. You just can't knock them. 20,799 miles. I've spoken to the vendor 2 or 3 times. From memory, I believe it was his father's car. The mileage, he says, is correct. Can't argue with that, can you? When it is correct, it looks correct, it feels correct, it must be correct. I don't know, make your own inquiries. But books and things and bits and pieces in here. But the basis of it is that, I mean, the condition of the car speaks for itself, so there's no point in rambling on too much about that, really. I mean, it's just in lovely condition and it's genuine. It's 21,000 miles, you know, that's it. And when you think that it's probably looked after...
Turn it on for a minute, just so we can hear.
Looked after and cared for. There's like 20 years in this car if you used it on a sort of weekly or whatever basis. I don't know, maybe every other day or something. I don't know, there's 20 years left in it. And the chances are it'll never go wrong. You know, they got it just so right, didn't they? That, you know, we couldn't compete with them. It sticks in my throat. But the fact of the matter is, us dealers wanted to deal with these because we didn't want the damn things keep coming back under warranty. Because every time a vehicle rolled onto your forecourt with a warranty fault, it cost you. These things and all the Nissan range, you know, the Micras and stuff like that, you waved goodbye to them and you generally didn't see them until they came back in for service. And that's exactly what we want out of a car or a washing machine or anything, don't we? We don't want it going wrong all the time. And they were just so reliable. And on top of that, they were just so nice to drive. You know, this drives just so much nicer than an Escort. It really does. So there you go. But the car itself, it was offered to us some months ago, I believe. And nothing much was done. It's got an old-fashioned cassette in here. Look, just a cassette, no radio, just a cassette. The old boy must have thought, nah, loads of rubbish on the radio. What do I want to listen to Radio 1 or Radio 2 for? He's dead right and all. And I might as well play me a cassette. So he's put a little Clarion cassette in. It would have come, I would have thought, with a radio. So somewhere there'd be a radio for it. But anyway, it ain't going with the car, so forget it. Wants a good clean, as you can see. Look, really good clean. But plastic seats, I mean, couldn't be easier to clean, could they? Get your old putsie out and get that cleaned up and no trouble at all. Condition, great, isn't it? I mean, looks to me as though the wheels are factory silver. Look, they ain't been done. I mean, I'm not saying they don't want licking over, but they're factory silver, which is great. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen round it. I mean, I'll have to have that off of there. It's awful, isn't it? But anyway, it's been zybarted. I could see the plugs in there where it's been zybarted up. You can see yourself. Look, plugs, zybart plugs everywhere. Look, which is great. So that helps no end. Thing to do now, don't mess about zybarting anymore. Whip them plugs out and fill them up with oil. Put it somewhere where it don't matter and it drips out, unfortunately. Forgive me, environmentalists won't like that, will they? But anyway, that's what we used to do, and just take them around the back of the yard on a bit of rough stuff and that, fill them up and that, and the oil would say no more. But look at the condition, fantastic. What a car, what a lovely car. See, I could run this now. You know, I mean, I'm running that Audi, and I've got a 400 quid Audi. That's what I run. It's all I can afford. And I enjoy it and all the rest of it. But this here, I can run that every day. Wonderful. Look at the condition of that.
Lovely, isn't it?
Like a brand new car. I mean, there's a little mark there, look. And there's, well, I was going to say there's going to be some imperfections. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a job finding them, isn't it? What a car. What a motor. Fabulous little car. The thing is, I can't tell you much about the mechanics of them and all the rest of it because they were so reliable, we didn't work on them. They just went every time. You know, we used to say, look, you watch this, it'll start when I open the door. And they almost do, you know, it's just amazing, amazing little cars. And that's why the British motor industry went down the Swanee. That's a prime example.